Mac.
Pune, India.
Oh my gosh.
Thinkland demo. I mean, what a huge success. Not only the workshops, but the demo day that we had the last few days. And then just look at this incredible space here at SKJ Juris. Um, so much to dive into, but just how you feeling? This has just been a great couple days.
Well, we're smack in the middle of Asia 2025, Thinkland Demo Asia 2025. We had a magnificent opening. MGSN, I believe, in the next day or two, we'll be having the opening from Dubai. And so everybody out there in MGSN land, definitely want to go check this out. The demos, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but they're going to be ready in about a week, 2 weeks.
Yeah, we'll get those up for you. We'll make it a big announcement about the demos and everything. But definitely follow along on mgsn.net. Follow along this podcast, of course. But yeah, we're excited to launch that product within the Thinkland demos. But I thought those went great,
They were
and
phenomenal.
we're able to cover so much depth in there.
They were phenomenal. And I think one thing that, first off, which is this is a great, the GCC here is a phenomenal. You'll see with from where the room was where the demos were held. And if you're in the business of product development, service development, startups, and your market is in the South market, Asia, Sub-Saharan Africa, this is the place you want to be. This is the epicenter. Right here, Pune is a perfect city. It is a city that's chock full of young talent. As we're looking around here in your GCC here, we see all these young, talented lawyers that are here, and engineers that are here, and your digital developers, and you yourself have your whole editing team here. So this is a very, very innovative place. Strategically, you put Pune as the epicenter of the Asian 2025. Tomorrow we're off to Bangkok, and then we're on to Taipei. So this definitely is a highlight because global capability centers have been utilized by the big global entities for the last few years very effectively. What's phenomenal of what you and your team has done here is that you're bringing that capability center to the SME market in the United States and in the UK. And what you picked Pune because it is just chock full of universities, technology universities, law schools, and it's got a very large and vibrant young population. And if you're a young entrepreneur and you're struggling against cost, you might want to think about reaching out to Thinkland. And I guess you'll give them your contact information and say, hey, can you help me set up? What's it like to live over there? And you might want to look a little, I guess MGSN is going to be covering the cost-effective, what is it? It costs like $5 for a round trip on the new metro that goes throughout this vibrant city. Night lights. We just came back from but a big shout out to Pillow and Tea, your logistics partner on Asia 25. They did such a bang up job on Euro 2024, the Thinkland demo. We just came back from a great, their capability of collaborating with on the ground expertise. And we had a most phenomenal lunch, which we shared with some of the lawyers and the engineers here, and we got to know them on that basis, which is all part of the development of the strategic networks and strategic partnerships.
Yeah, no, and like you said, there's a reason we made Pune the anchor in the feature of Asia Demo 2025. It's because the Capability Center is the prime example of what the possibilities are there out in the globe. And for us, for Thinkland, I think not only is it a place for us to scale, but when we talk about global strategic partners, I mean, this is the center. This is everything's happening here. Incredible talent. And I was just saying, as we were heading to the metro and incredible public transportation here in Pune, how attractive it is for an entrepreneur or an individual maybe coming out of college. How attractive the city is. You got great young nightlife. You got great infrastructure. You got great talent, incredible education, beautiful city, food, phenomenal.
Out of control.
Just had an incredible meal. And again, like you said, shout out to Pillow and Tea. who's been doing the whole logistics and corporate logistics of Thinkland Demo. Just everything from the housing to the food to the events to setting up all of our demos on demo day the other day. Just phenomenal work, and
You know what? Even the stuff that you just don't want to do, like
yeah, exactly.
getting all the various currencies that we needed, getting
Hmm.
all of the processing the visas. I mean, these are all things that all we have to
Right.
do is just show up with a nice suit and smile,
Yep.
and
All the travel, health prep we had to do,
yeah,
the
yeah.
travel visas, and then of course all the business development stuff that we had to piece together and prepare. There's so much that comes with travel, and then even within travel, there's things that come up. So they've been able to adapt, and it kind of flows right into everything we were talking about yesterday on Demo Day, how adaptable you need to be, but also how much easier it is to adapt to the market when you have a global capability center, when you strategically partner yourself up with someone like SKJ Juris with the incredible talent they have here. I think it's just been phenomenal. So me, as an entrepreneur and someone that's trying to start my startup, I mean, I can't think of a better partner than this global capability center with SKJ Juris. But also just as far as having a trusted business partner to grow my business has been everything. Yeah.
And that's an important point, Mac, because you see, we one of the demos that I was invited to present at dealt with structuring a startup. It's a little daunting to do a
Hmm.
startup because you always hear the bad news of the high failing rate that's on there. But at the end of the day, it doesn't mean you don't do it. For example, big companies, right? They do mergers and acquisitions all the time, but they have a high failing rate too. That's
Hmm.
70% of those transactions fail. And part of the reason why is that there's not enough research development. There's this rush to get to the market. Sometimes the investors are driving that. What this allows, this GCC here in Pune, what this allows is a company, a startup that's in the same position that you're in,
Hmm.
to scale at a cost-effective way that preserves investment capital. If you're constantly going back to an investor, and I run an incubator and I know the pain that's involved in that cash burn. But if you now take your scalability and now
Hmm.
we're investing in a global capability center, which is a fraction of the cost of building this out in Boston Tech, where you guys
Absolutely.
are home
Absolutely.
headquartered. And then granted, we're not ever going to put down Boston Tech. That's a great tech place. But what's phenomenal here is you got young entrepreneurs and lawyers now working around the clock here who are providing an infrastructure for your client base
Hmm.
and frankly for the growth and the scalability of your own
Yeah,
startups.
and they're ahead of the game. I mean, they were able to do their own demo during demo day. One of their founders, Pankesh, was able to talk about AI and automation and everything that comes with that. So they're ahead of the game. They're at the forefront with their prompt engineers and incredible talent pool of lawyers here. I mean, whether you're an LPO, you're outsourcing legal work, or you're a digital developer outsourcing, anything within the digital space. I mean, just incredible opportunity to, again, like you said, scale your business in a cost-effective way, in a sustainable way, where you're not trying to do too much too soon, and you're not going to be too far behind the boat as well. So as the money comes in or as your business is growing, you can scale at a sustainable rate and extremely cost effective. Like you're saying, we went on the metro the other day for less than $1, 10
Right.
people. Incredible.
Yeah,
It just
that was incredible. So Pillow and Tea arranged for the tour. We wanted to, because if we're not going to come out and say to you who are sitting in maybe the UK or in France or New York or Los Angeles, we're say, hey, we're gonna try it ourselves.
mhm.
I'm a subway guy. I grew up in New York City on the subways. I traveled the T when I'm in Boston. But also there are times we need to get to places and there are people who are with, clients we're with, they're maybe not inclined to take public transportation. Pillow and Tea working to arrange for the cars. I remember in France, we got these cars, but we had to navigate utilizing the luxury cars
Oh
to
yeah,
to
yes,
the metro there,
yeah.
and that became issues because some of the people who were on that trip who were you had to account for some physical restrictions and things
That,
like that.
that's glad you brought that up because Pillow and Tea, and again, go follow them, pillow1t.com, incredible founder. I think with them, it's a perfect example. Whether it's France when we were over there for the Olympics, or whether it's over here in India, I mean, just the wide range of different culture and different locations. They're able to get us, with the right people, with the right transportation, with the right hospitality, no matter where we go. And we're all over the world here, and we're about to go, like you said, off to Bangkok, then Taipei, back to the United States and Seattle. There's so much that comes with that, and just exciting time for them as we start to really hone in on these developments in other parts of the country. And I think that again brings us all the way back here to where we are right now, Pune, India, SKJ Juris. I mean, when you look around in this space, not only is it the talent, but a beautiful facility where they can house and you can build your capability center. And when I'm thinking personally about this, when I was out of college or out of high school, and people don't talk about these opportunities, but Pune, and it's such in a great place right now as far as them growing and potentially becoming a tier one city. You're if you're an entrepreneur and you've got that hustle and you've got that independence, I'm just kind of mirroring myself out of college and high school. If you have that drive, I mean, get on a plane, come here to Pune, reach out to Thinkland, go to thinkland.com, DM me on Twitter or X or the website, Instagram, and come here to Pune. And we're ready to show you what's available here, because I know for me, you're going to be skeptical. You're going to be, if you're an American or European or other places in the world, you're thinking, oh, I don't know. But I'm telling you, when you come here and you see the opportunity, you see the value, and you talk to the people, it's so refreshing to see yourself reflected so beautifully over here in Pune, India.
It's a great point, Mac. And I'll tell you one of the value propositions that you embrace, which is a good sign of a solid young entrepreneur, is that everyone wants to go to Silicon Valley and make pitches for funding and what have you. And sometimes because you're dealing with a fund that's just now trying to figure out how to get a company for low ball at the cost as much as possible, they are taking a risk, putting them in a portfolio. Is there any sort of interface or any sort of strength they can gain by the portfolio managers, blah, blah, blah. And then there are going to be times to say, okay, that's not performing, let's put it down. But maybe they need a little bit more nurturing. Maybe they need a little bit more time to develop. And that's what gets lost when you have an investor that's not properly aligned with the startup. Mm-hmm. In this scenario, when you're in a GCC, what you're able to do is you're able to keep the investor's interest because you're not burning the cash. Then you're able to scale up and grow. So now you're ready to go into maybe a Station F in Paris and then grow a little bit more and being exposed to the institutional investors that are lined up in Station F, which we visited and interviewed and investigated during a DEMO24 Europe, Thinkland Demo 2024. And then the real issue comes, and now we're coming full circle, is you work very, very hard with your global teams on Thinkland Demo 2024 in Europe. Where the hard work you guys have done, and all of the incubating companies. And even as I brought in some of our transactional lawyers like F.G. McCabe on this trip.
Yes.
We didn't have the pleasure of the company in Europe, but we have it here in Asia. And they're thoroughly impressed with the amount of scalability that you guys have utilized here in such a cost-effective manner. But remember, once we get out of France, everybody wants to get to Silicon Valley.
Yeah.
And what you guys are doing, which I think is a brilliant thing for our young followers and even our not so young followers, but new entrepreneurs out there in MGSN land, is you guys are working on a Thinkland Demo 2025 in the fall in Silicon Valley.
Yeah, Demo 25 will be in Silicon Valley later this year. And we're super excited about that because as much as we try to bring you all these opportunities outside of the Valley, outside of the alley in New York, at the end of the day, there is a reason why those are the most incredible places to go start your startup. So we're gonna show you how to get there. We're gonna show you the depths of that and the incredible value that comes there. But again, when we talk about this business development pathway, you hit it right on the nail, my friend, is that there's steps to this and you have to pace yourself. And I think the beautiful thing about the Global Capability Center is that you're able to go at your right pace, scale at the correct pace, so it's sustainable. You're not expanding too quick. You're coming. You're adapting and you're going and growing with the market. You're not trying to force it, whether it's too slow or too fast. And I think that's the beautiful thing. And we're showing you that there's a right time and place for your business. Whether you're before you're especially when you're before you're ready to go to an investor and get investors. There's a lot of things that you need to do: research, development, and growth, and showing proof that you can scale. And I think that's one of the great opportunities that the Capability Center here in Pune does, is that when you go to before you go to investor, a lot of people try to go there before they even showed even gone to market or proved that their product is ready. The nice thing is that you can actually go to investor and show that you already scaled. And the Capability Center here allows you to build out your startup, actually scale. So when you're ready to go to Silicon Valley, when you're ready to go to the alley in New York City, you say, hey, not only does this product work or the service works, I was able to scale and I was able to go to market with that. And I think that's, everything when we talk about your startup and going down that business development pathway.
Yeah, it's a very insightful point. So, and also think of it this way as well. I mean, for the most part, most startups need consumer support. You have to be in a community that's good, that you're addressing a market stress point, but that has to be the more sustainable that market stress, that answer to that market stress point is, the longer and the longevity that you have with respect to maybe fending off some of those failing rates. And you keep in mind, one of the great aspects is where Pune is located is what we took us a few hours to get to from Dubai. It's just a few hours over to where you're doing a bang-up job with a client that's providing you cash, which then reduces the tension on us, the investor, over in East Africa. You're just a hop and a skip over the Indian Ocean and you're in East Africa. And this is where the consumer market is going to be. If you're in the food sector, the hospitality sector, if you're if you're looking to develop products that need mass consumption, these are the markets that are going to be. If you decide that you're going to come over here, remember what an entrepreneur does. You don't. Some entrepreneurs take one business and they stay there for a long time. But most entrepreneurs are like you. You have a sports and entertainment sector. You're in with BCC football fans. You're in obviously the digital development place. You're now opening up a publishing house, which is very impressive, and you already got clients lined up for that. And at the end of the day, during this business, and you're hearing this live, folks, during this business demo, Mac today was retained by lawyers here in Asia to help develop their media spectrum. And we actually, which we're not going to get into now because it is a product development session. So as part of these great aspects of the Thinkland demo is not only do we present what we've done and doing, but also we're doing constant product development and services across the spectrum of not
concept
only
generation, business development, still happening in all these things. So as much as we've made so much progress with a lot of these different brands and product lines within the GCC, within Thinkland, there's always new ideas. And I think, I'm glad you brought that up, because one of the things I always, we speak to is that, it's better not to have one product actually. It's better to just go to the market, to try as many things as possible and kind of see what sticks. It's, plan A's are great, so are plan B's, C's, D's, and E's. And I think for Thinkland, whether it's sports media, whether it's, digital development, whether it's publishing, I think getting in all these things are important. And because I think too many people, when they're building a startup, they feel like they have to have this perfect product before they go to market. And it's like, you haven't even tested if it works. Why are you spending so much time developing this product? It's like, get it to the market, see what happens. And of course, you got to do a lot of research development. And another shout out to your incredible presentation and demo. But at the end of the day, there is so much talk and concept and thinking about ideas. You got to just go plug and play. And I think that's the nice thing about Thinkland Demo. It's a combination of being very thoughtful and sharing ideas, but also action and getting it to market and trying to test as many things as possible. Because you might have a great idea, but the market at the end of the day is going to tell you if it actually has value or not, and if you're actually helping people. And so, yeah, that's been a huge plus when it comes to these Thinkland demos, because we're able to come together and really not only test out our ideas, but test out what we've done good and what we've done bad, and how to adjust from there.
Picture perfect. And this is what you want out of a demo. You don't want, or a trade show, an expo. You don't want to, and we've all had this. I mean, I've been going globally on these trade shows and expos for the past 40 years. And sometimes the thing you hate the most is to get on a plane, go there and say, it wasn't that great. Overpriced, underperformed. What's great about what you guys did, which is, by the way, unique. The unique aspect here, we were going to put on, KLG was going to put on the expo, and it was the incubators, the companies in our incubators who say, hey, can we do this? And we're going to show you. I said, well, show me a budget. Show me how you're going to plan to do this. Show me what your goals are going to be. I got this tremendous document and this tremendous technical digital product that you worked on with Pillow and Tea. And we said, okay, let's do it. And it turned out to be a bang up of a success. The work you've done with the engineers, the digital developers, and the lawyers here in Pune has paid off immensely, as this demo has been such a tremendous success. And you can only say for everybody out there, now this was an event that was fully booked, so this was by invitation only. I believe, honestly, with the amount of work that we have and our follow-ups that we need to do, that in all probability, we're going to have a booked out event in Silicon Valley that's on there. But what we're hoping is in 2026 is to maybe open it up. Again, it will be by invitation. Not everybody can get into this thing, because it's we bear a lot of expense on here, and we want to make sure that we have founders who are going to be resilient, and we're willing to teach that. We're willing to teach that, because that's not some trait you're born with. You learn that, and we want to see that there's a level of commitment that's on there. I mean, we have a small incubator, and I work around the clock. I work long hours. I have. It's in a few hours, my New York office is coming online, and I've been working in the morning to do this. I expect that if you're a founder and you want to learn from the 40 years of experience that I have and my colleagues across the globe has, this is an opportunity for you to reach out to Thinkland and saying, hey, look, I have a startup that I'd like to try to do. Now, I'm not saying you're going to come into our incubator, but we'll keep you in the loop. And then maybe you might have some presentation that will bring you into the incubator, because we provide financial support, we provide legal support, we provide structuring support that's on there. So what we're looking for, though, is we have a path here. Here's a path that now,
we just want to see the drive, really. I mean, I appreciate that, Jerry, because as much as a lot of the rest of Demo25 is pretty much booked out, there's always an open invitation when you have a closed party for someone that has the hustle and the drive. So when I say reach out to Thinkland, I mean, like, DM me like you would a CEO. DM me, try to, cold email me. We want to see that you have the drive here, the passion, because when we say go start your startup, this is a very difficult thing. It's like to start your startup, and we've seen the failure rate, and you did a whole great demo on this. This is a tough lifestyle, but we want to bring in people into this incredible network that we have that that drive, that passion, that want to make a difference, that have that entrepreneurial spirit. So, a perfect example is this. We had a guy reach out to me in my DMs in Boston, and he wanted to get into sports media, and he was a photographer and a videographer. So I gave him the opportunity, because he reached out. He was progressive, proactive about it, and these are the things where we are looking for people in every industry that have that hustle, that want to start growing their personal brand, but also start growing their own business. So whether you're a digital developer, whether you're a content creator, you want to become an influencer, these are the people that we're starting to work with, and we want to help get to that next level. So again, yeah, I would say the same thing, Jerry. Reach out to me, DM me, join my network, and we'll try to find a place for you. But you're gonna have to do the hard work. You're gonna have to reach out to us, and get into this, because I think the people that are show that to the world. Again, we've always said this. The more you put out into the world, the more you're gonna get back. Say whether it's prompt engineering, whether that's outsourcing, it's always gonna be that way. That's the reality of how this world works. So put some effort in this, and then maybe we'll see you out there in Silicon Valley.
Well, listen, I'm looking forward to Bangkok, and I'm looking forward to Taipei. I will leave Pune with some fond memories. I've been coming to Pune for a little over a decade now. I've seen the city grow. I think when you mentioned the word drive, think the thing that we're be able to provide you is an innovative way to develop your startup that's a cost-effective way. Now, I'll give you a prime example, and then I'll start wrapping up, because then I have another event that you have here that I have to present to. Is the amount of work that Mac puts into this and his team puts into it. It makes it encourages investors like myself to stay with them. Now we do a lot of prep. It's the nature of the beast of how I've been trained as an attorney. We prepare a lot. We question a lot. In our product development meetings that we had today, very effective product development meetings, all you had were the attorneys challenging every aspect of what was being put forward by the entrepreneurs. That is the sort of thing that we do. Now, part of this was in the final prep, which is about a month ago. There was a workshop that was held in Portland, Maine. And there's going to be a series that Pillow and Tea is going to be developing for our team. And it's the workspace, in different cities. And Portland, Maine is a great place, is another startup city that you don't think of that's on there. Mm-hmm. But the trick of the trade is to find that cost-effective place that has the lifestyle that you can take a break from the rigors of the work that you're doing, and has a housing that's nice and affordable, and has a team that you can develop relationships with, and you can build on, and you can scale. And that's what you guys have accomplished in this Thinkland Demo 2020, Asia 2025. Strategic partnerships and networks will be the theme of Taipei. So we're looking for that. But I guess, I first of all, thank you for inviting me here on this podcast. I can't wait to see it. And I'm hoping that everybody out there in MGSN land will also find it helpful.
Yeah, it's been great for everyone to follow along. And then for Thinkland Demo to come out here, I think for a digital developer, and for whether it's the LPO here at SKJ Juris, I think, again, bringing everyone together in person is still how business is done. And I think that's an important thing to know. The more and more digital everything is getting, with Zoom and online, everything's virtual now, right? There's still something really important, because when you, like just what you just mentioned, where it comes down to, you're dealing with an investor, you're dealing with business partners, sometimes you gotta butt heads and figure out what's working and what's not. And you need someone to say, a business partner or investor, be like, hey, this isn't working. Like, this is a money wasting thing. You only get this done, you're only able to debate whether it's the product development or concept generation or how things are going to market and how you're going to sell it and how you're going to market it together in a room. And that's the best way to battle these things out. And I think, ultimately the most successful companies are going to be people that can go after each other and call each other out to get yourself to the next level. Because if you don't have that consistently, the market will take you out. If you're not going to do it actively and proactively, the market will. So that's, I think, the biggest thing that comes out of these Thinkland demos. It gets everyone out of the house to a incredible place and to connect, but also to critique, positively critique each other to get us to the next level. And again, we're all about growth. And I think when you're an individual or startup, that's super important, because if you're a solopreneur, who's telling you what you're doing wrong? So these things are great. If you're someone that's starting your business and you need to share that idea and try to test, before you test it to the market, get people's viewpoints. This is why Thinkland Demo exists. You present, people get to discuss about it, you get to go to dinner, talk about it, and I think that's the most impressive thing that's come about after this, and just couldn't be happier from the turnout as well. Yeah.
I'm with you on that. Well, I guess the only thing left to say,
Go start your startup.